Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Happy Thursday. I am so happy that you are here with me once again, because this is a show about hope and happiness, and I'm on my Happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And so I'm not going to be complaining or talking about what's wrong in the world, because there is, according to the news, always something bad about the bad people, about the bad circumstances, about the natural disasters. Not that I'm putting my head in the sand, which I am, because it just feels better there. And so my job is to get you to wherever you're going with a little more happiness than you started with. So you'll let me know how I'm doing. This is Dr. Marissa on KCAA AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere on all the major platforms. Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Amazon, Tiki Live, you name it, I'm there. So you can always listen to this again, because I want all of us to come out of this pandemic in the best possible frame of peace of mind and peace of heart. And because of that, I also have been bringing you some clips of things that are going well around our community, our state in California, and this morning is no exception. Take a listen to this.
Morning, this is Dr. Marissa reporting live. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm here on a very special day. It is June 15th. We're going to have to make it a national holiday, I think. And I have someone special over here who's part of the festivities. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm City Attorney Mike Fewer. It's wonderful to be here at Langer's this morning for what is a terrific day of reopening.
And what are we reopening?
We're reopening Langer's Deli, which is one of the anchor institutions here in the city of Los Angeles, famous for its pastrami.
And what do you want the public to do now? Is it like all no holds barred? We can do anything we want.
Well, today is reopening in California. People should go out. They should engage in commerce. They should go to stores. They should go to restaurants. People still need to wear masks in a few places, like a nursing home, for example. But by and large, today is a day of celebration. And what we're celebrating is that Californians are getting vaccinated. Californians have reduced the rate of COVID here so much that we have an opportunity to reopen ahead of other states.
That is superb. So do this for me. Peace in.
Okay.
Peace in, peace out.
All right.
World peace.
No, you got it.
World through inner peace.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I was Dr. Marissa reporting live on location at Langer's Delicatessen. That was yesterday, June 15th, the day that California, because it's done so well with, 88% of us, following the guidelines for masking and social distancing. Our numbers are down. We're doing much better than the majority of the states out there. And so now we get to take those masks off and practice smiling again. Yeah, you could probably do any face you wanted before, and now every part of your face will be seen, and we get to hug again as long as we've been vaccinated. If you haven't been vaccinated, please do be responsible for your health and the health of those around you. Of course, there are some exceptions of people who cannot get vaccinated, but those are very few and far between because of medical reasons. The vast majority of us, whether you're a conspiracy theorist or not, all of this, in order for us to heal from this pandemic, and get out of it alive. Literally, we've lost so many people. I've lost loved ones myself. My beloved Don Wells, Marianne from Gilligan's Island, Bernie Dorman. I know people who've lost sisters and brothers and fathers and children. And so out of respect for the loss, let's do what we can. We've got no reason not to get vaccinated. I've also been covering, if you are on my social media, Doc Balance on Instagram, Dr. Marissa everywhere else. You'll see that I'm highlighting free vaccination clinics. Hilda Solis, again, put on another free vaccinations with tacos this time. So there's really no reason for us not to be vaccinated. So I'm hoping that you will go and take care of yourself and others. There's your PSA announcement for that. And I'm also highlighting a couple of other things today before we come back after the break with another a clip of a great event. It was a food drive, a food bank that was put on by Sheriff's Department, as well as the Rose Bowl Parade. The president, Dr. Miller, was there, as well as Dr. Anshu Batra, who is my guest today in the later segments, to talk about where the police are doing a great job in being part of the community, as well as special needs, autism. Those are all the topics that we're going to cover in this morning show today. So make sure you come back after the breaks for those. I also wanted to highlight some things that are going on because I had Fran Drescher on twice on my show. She does great work in helping educate us for preventing our risk of cancer. If you missed those interviews that I had with her, please go on to my YouTube channel, free subscribe there. As you know, Fran Drescher, yes, she does actually talk like that. For those of you who are big Nanny fans, just a brilliant woman who's doing so much to help. And this year, she's doing a virtual music festival celebrating peace, love, and wellness. And she has one heck of a lineup. It is virtual, so it'll be, you can attend from everywhere. We're going to start to miss that when things go live again, the ability to cross borders so easily. And I'm grateful that was hashtag COVID silver lining for sure. But Tina Arena, we've got Cynthia Erivo, Fiji Blue, David Foster, Debbie Gibson. So it's a Cyndi Lauper. Oh my goodness. All of that, you can find out about it. The virtual, it's 4 days from now, the virtual music, peace, love, and joy festival. Go to cancerschmancer.org. That's cancer. And then Schmancer is SCHMANCER.org. I told them that I would absolutely plug this very worthy event. If you cannot go and you know anyone who is just got a diagnosis, or if you want to take preventative measures yourself for not getting cancer, go to cancerschmancer.org. She's got plenty of free education, edutainment for us to stay safe from getting cancer. And that is it for the first segment of What's Up, Doc, here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. We'll be right back with more and my interview with Dr. Anshu Batra. So that is when we get back. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. So don't go away. We'll be right back with more Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, a show about hope and happiness. This was the What's Up. So thank you for tuning in. This was the What's Up, Doc segment of Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere because it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Be right back. And we're back. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that we are looking for things to celebrate, looking for things to be grateful for, looking for positive things. And some of you know I've been doing some on location Dr. Marissa reporting live work, and that's been super fun. And while I'm there, I get to meet really fabulous people and do spot interviews, get a soundbite. So last week was no exception. And I wanted to not just show you what's going on in our community that's working, but also brought one of the interviewees on. And Dr. Anshu Batra will be joining us after this clip. So here it is.
Morning, this is Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, reporting live from a really great event showing that community can be helped by a variety of people. And because I think we're all vaccinated, I'm going to take this off so that you can hear me. But I wanted to highlight just what they're doing here. So I'm going to ask some of the organizers to introduce themselves and tell me what they're doing. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Sultan Ahmad, and I'm from Cerritos. I like to do community works. I'm a part of the CSC, and our chief is Mr. Chris and Ben, and they are doing the great job. I think we should do this kind of work to our community. This is time the country need to help our own people. I think we will like to continue this.
Yes, beautiful. And CSC stands for?
CSC is as a council of advisory council.
Okay.
CSC means for LA Sheriff County.
For LA Sheriff County. Beautiful. Thank you. And I'm going to move in here.
Hi, so I'm Bob Miller, and I'm the president of the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Association. So it's the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl game. And I'm proud to be here today representing at least 25 or 30 of our volunteers. We have 935 volunteers supporting this incredible cause. Here, by the way, is the Norma Coombs School in Pasadena Unified School District. We're in East Pasadena, and thanks to the Sheriff's Department and the Tournament of Roses and the Pasadena Education Foundation, we are here today to provide food to those who are obviously much less fortunate than we are. So it's exciting to be here, and we will do a lot more of this as we've done all last year. We're going to continue to do it this coming year.
That is fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Felita Keeling. I am the board president of the Pasadena Educational Foundation, or PEF. And what PEF has been doing for over 50 years here in the Pasadena community, we've been supporting PUSD schools in different ways with arts, with curriculum, and supporting teachers. And so we're here today to support families in a different way. And of course, with the Tournament of Roses, we're happy to be here. And of course, not to forget the Sheriff's Department. So that's what I do. I'm a volunteer with the Pasadena Education Foundation. I've been with the foundation now for 8 years as a volunteer, and I'm happy to be here today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'll ask you to switch with Mr. Tall.
Yes. Mr.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. My name is John Bircher. I'm a commander with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and I also lead the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Community Advisory Council. So this was Sheriff Villanueva's concept of outreach, community outreach. It's very important to him, and one of his tenets and platforms when he was running for office. So as you can see, we partner up with important communities and important leaders in the communities, and we provide food, we've provided toys, we've provided clothing. We also partnered up with a clinic recently, probably back in January, and we were providing vaccines throughout the county. So altogether, we've probably affected about 70,000 people just in the past year. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun, and it's been great meeting a lot of different people. And we also have Dr. Anshu Batra. She's going to assist us in a new special needs group. We're going to be reaching out, educating the community, and also reaching out to special needs kids to provide services and other things for them. So
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'll let you guys get back to work, but before you go, I'm going to do the same over here. I've got some more people. You guys get Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. I don't give that lightly. So I'm just so appreciative. I love, I'm in media that tries to highlight the good instead of what's wrong with people. This is a great example of what's right with people. So thank you so much for the work that you do.
Thank you very much for
Yes, absolutely. And just tune in AM 1050 next week. Hi, and I wanted to highlight there's wives here of the Sheriff's Department, which I think is super wonderful. And I have here
Rita Shahinian. I'm just a wife.
No, there's no such thing, because every wonderful man has a even more wonderful woman behind him.
Thank you. I'm just the wife, Chris Shahinian. He's the advisor of Sheriff Department, Alex, and he loves to help community, and they did so many times this, and we went help out. They did in LA, Northridge, and they want to do it in Pasadena too. Beautiful. And I'm happy to help every time he asks me.
Oh, yeah. I just love that. Thank you so much. Thank you. And last but not least,
hi there, I'm Anshu Batra. I'm a developmental and behavioral pediatrician, and I will be heading the special needs group for the CAC, the Community Advisory Council for the LA Sheriff's Department. And our hope is to, again, partner with the LASD and the community, special needs community, to help the families be supported and help our individuals be safe.
Beautiful. You got that award too, by the way.
Thank you.
And I'll have you call in on my show, because I'd love to hear more of what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yes. So nice to meet you.
You said that you want to highlight what's good.
That's right.
Because
That's
there's
right.
so much that's not.
Yes.
And I deal with a population.
It's tough. I can't imagine. Yeah.
I tell all my families and my patients that, small steps. Oh,
go ahead.
No. I wasn't doing this. No, it's small steps. Tiny steps make the sea changes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so we have to look at what's right, what's good, what's hopeful, and that's how we make change.
Beautiful. So you get to do this with me.
Okay.
Ready? Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. I end every show with that. And thank you so much, my cameraman, who just volunteered. His name is
Stephen Schultz.
You're awesome, Stephen. You win the award too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome.
Good luck. I couldn't see the screen.
Wasn't that amazing? I totally love being able to go on location and meet the coolest people. And as promised, I did bring her to the studio to join me today. And her name is Dr. Anshu Batra. She's a developmental behavioral pediatric specialist in Los Angeles with over 30 years of experience in the medical field. She got her medical degree from University of Michigan and has been helping kids with special needs and more. So please do welcome to my studio, Dr. Anshu Batra.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Marissa.
Of course. Thank you for being here and following up that interview. And I really wanted to get to know the work that you're doing, as well as the work of the CDC, as well as, what's good and right and happening now, even through the pandemic. We are opening back up. The communities are still helping. And I loved being part of that food drive that you had on Saturday. So, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me. I agree. It's lovely to see LA opening up and we're able to engage and have normal as we can interactions and lives. As a developmental and behavioral pediatrician, I serve families with individuals with special needs and developmental disorders such as autism, ADHD, anxiety, learning disorders, etc. And so this past year has been a struggle. It's been a struggle for everyone, but especially for this very vulnerable population.
Absolutely.
And so it's been wonderful and a relief to try and restore some sense of normalcy so that our special needs population can continue to be served and continue to be supported as they need. And so, again, as you said, what's good right now, there's a lot to be thankful for. There's a lot to be grateful for. What's good right now is that, again, my role as serving on the Community Advisory Council, I think is good. We're a group that represents the LA Sheriff's Department to really inform the Sheriff's Department of issues and concerns within the community that pertain to public safety as well as other issues for the public. And so my role as leading the special needs group within the Community Advisory Council is to really help inform, partner with, come up with an implementation of policies and programs to help support the special needs population, to help keep them safe in the community, and really to help the law enforcement understand the unique needs and the unique
absolutely
of the special needs population.
Yeah, and that's terrifically important with all of the accidental shootings or accidental treatment when someone with special needs calls the police. And we'll talk about that when we get back from a break here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. That's what you're tuned into on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere so that I can splatter more hope and happiness on you. I'll be right back with Dr. Anshu Batra with more edutaining. And welcome back. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And you are tuned in to a very special segment today, talking about what's right. Well, actually, no, it's not special. That's my job on this show, is to highlight people that are doing great things in our community and helping and, answering that question, what's right with the world, instead of the world is going to HE double hockey puck in a handbasket. So today's guest I have with me is Dr. Anshu Batra. If you were here the last segment, you saw my little soundbite with her and all of the wonderful people who were helping the community with a food drive, including Dr. Robert Miller, who is the president and chairman of the Pasadena Tournament of Roses, who was gracious enough to let me follow them around and just see what they were doing to help people in that community. And I asked Dr. Anshu Batra to come and speak with us, not just about their work, but what work are we doing now in our community to help our special needs population? So welcome back, Dr. Batra.
Thank you very much.
So we were just talking about the special needs, special needs children, how has COVID sort of impacted this particular population?
Well, COVID has impacted our special needs population tremendously. It's removed all sense of structure and routine that is so essential for that population, consistency that is so essential. The any therapies that they were getting routinely were abruptly stopped for up to a year to 15 months, and our population has spiraled, regressed in a lot of behaviors and their daily activities of living, their mental health. So it's impacted them tremendously. And so, now as we're reopening and starting to rebuild, we have to really be mindful of this population and really, the supports that they need to get back to regain function and development.
And if any of my listeners are related to or know of special needs population, what resources do they have that they can access in this transition back?
Well, there's several. I mean, there's a lot of organizations in the community that are available to help individual families with special needs. I serve, along with my role on the Sheriff's Department's Community Advisory Council, I serve on the board for Special Needs Network, which is a nonprofit that serves the needs for low income and Black and brown families in South LA, for advocacy, for therapies. We have year-round monthly events to help support the families and children. We have in August we'll have a school event handing out 50,000 backpacks and clothes and shoes and school supplies. We have toy drives and clothes drives and seminars to help families support their children, advocacy, therapy. So there's lots out there.
That's great.
To access.
Can you give me that website again?
Yeah, Special Needs Network.
Okay, perfect. That's easy. Special Needs network.org. Yeah, so that's something, you're not alone. There is help out there. Also, if you want to be a hashtag be the change that you want to see, and you're looking for somewhere to offer some help, I think that would be a beautiful place to go. Special Needs network.org. I'm sure they could use some money, energy in donations for support, as well as time to volunteer. So, as we come out, instead of complaining about the year that we've all had, we can use our energies to take the complaint out of your mouth. Sign up for my 21-day fast from complaining, and then go to specialneedsnetwork.org to put your time and energy into something that actually makes a difference, which is always my message here. One of the other reasons why I wanted to highlight what you're doing is because you are working with the Sheriff's Department in this, the CDC. And I really wanted also to balance out all of the negativity around policing. Now, what happened to George Floyd, what continues to happen based on fear and old policies, based on fear and ignorance. I'm not saying that we don't need changes in policing. However, there are plenty of police and sheriff and law enforcement who are doing great things. And when I saw that this particular food drive was spearheaded partly by the sheriff's department, that's why I took the job to go on location to report it and to bring you on, because I believe that we also have to balance out all of the accusations with highlighting those law enforcement that are doing great things. So because I have you, I would love for your commentary on how can we move police from this protect and serve, and maybe serve and protect, and change the order of that, especially when it comes to special needs population. We're all very aware of that fatal shooting in Culver City last year. That was just so sad. Victor Valencia, he was killed in a confrontation because he was holding a bicycle part that resembled a handgun. He had special needs. He had mental illness. He ignored the police were accused of ignoring the signs of his mental illness. And so because of your expertise in special needs and working with law enforcement, what would you say needs to happen now?
Well, this is exactly why I came on board to partner with the Sheriff's Department, specifically to help target and to help support our special needs population. In light of all the recent, unfortunate events that have happened, what needs to happen is there needs to be some education and more awareness within the law enforcement about the unique special need behaviors and unique presentations of our population, so that tactics are changed, approaches are changed, and how they interface with special needs and individuals. And so that's one of my big missions, is to help partner with the Sheriff's Department to help look at the policies that are current, to see how we can tweak them, change some of the tactical policies to help them understand that, hey, if they get a call from an individual or a family that has, a special needs individual that's involved, that they are aware ahead of time that they may need to change and adjust how they approach, tune down some of the sensory stimuli that very often can provoke and bring on some of the atypical behaviors that may be misinterpreted by law enforcement. And so that's what we're going to be working on.
Can you give me an example of some of those actions that are misinterpreted?
Well, things such as when they're approached, there's lights and sounds that can very often trigger behaviors, anxiety, sensory behaviors that can then bring on, that can be misinterpreted by law enforcement who are there, who are there to serve and protect, as you said.
Right.
And they may misconstrue some of the behaviors as threatening, and threatening, and not maybe behaviors that are due to the individual's special needs.
Right.
So we'll be working with the law enforcement to really understand, identify some of these unique behaviors, and how then to shift and change some of their tactics in approaching special needs individuals, so that everyone stays safe. And that's I think one of the
most important thing. Of course.
Absolutely. We don't want any more unfortunate incidents that happen. And and that's my big mission here, to serve, using my expertise, using my interest, using my involvement in the community to bring that awareness to the law enforcement community, as well as then also help the special needs community to understand, trust, and respect the law enforcement so that we can work as a partnership, because it's necessary. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm even more passionate about this, because I have a 24-year-old son on the spectrum for autism. And as older into teens and young adulthood, he's 6 foot, 200 pounds. And as we were working to help him be more independent in the community, being out in the community on his own, as his parent, was terrified, knowing that he does have some behavior patterns, some atypical behavioral patterns that, because of his disability, that may be misinterpreted, and he may not respond the way that would be very customary.
Right.
And law enforcement may misconstrue it, and God forbid something unfortunate happen.
Absolutely.
And I am even more committed to helping law enforcement really do their job, but do it mindfully. So understanding the different groups of people that they have to serve,
right?
The groups of special needs individuals that have very unique behavioral patterns, have very unique needs, and I think I'm hoping to bridge a sense of just a sense of partnership, sense of a sense of trust. I think is important here.
And for that reason.
And I'm hoping I work with Special Needs Network, Autism Speaks, and other community outreach organizations. I'm hoping that we can help bridge that.
Absolutely. And for that reason, I'm going to re-give you the Dr. Marissa Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. Just tuned in. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa here on KCAA. AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind. And my special guest today is Dr. Anshu Batra. She's here with some really important information for not just policing, but policing with special needs. And she just started getting into the answer that you anticipated my question and started answering it. Is why this area? Why is this your passion? And why is this so important to you? And thank you for sharing about your son on the spectrum, who is 23, you said? 24, and his name is?
Keshav Batra.
Keshav, peace in, peace out to you. Thank you for sharing your mom on this show. And I think it's important too to allow or ask you to educate us on those kinds of behaviors that we're not aware of, that we're so quick to judge because we're not familiar with special needs or autism spectra. And we're in a country that just has this horrible habit of seeing something that's different and judging it automatically. Difference equals bad. Not difference equals curious, difference equals awareness, difference equals let's get to understand it. We just go straight to different equals bad. Avoid it.
How about difference equals special, different equals unique?
Exactly. And that's, we're on that mission together, which is why I wanted you on the show, because that is where we have to go. That's the only way we're going to get out of this pickle called racism in America, is if we stop seeing difference the way we have been seeing it. So educate me on special needs and some of the behaviors that we are so quick to judge, and maybe a little medical understanding of special needs.
So specifically, let's talk about autism and the autism spectrum disorder. So autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder that has some key differences in development. The key differences in how the individual has language and understanding of language. key differences in how they behave, key differences in their sensory processing, how their brain reacts to certain sensory stimuli, and as a result of that, how they then function in our society can be a little bit different. So in terms of how it affects how law enforcement interfaces with individuals with autism, some of the things that they need to be mindful of is that these are individuals who cannot be just approached head on with loud sirens and and flashing lights that can very often activate or overstimulate them and activate their anxiety, and so they may respond as a result of that. So we will be in the process of helping law enforcement understand that they need to turn down the sirens, maybe turn off the lights, not approach them head on, but to the side, speak softer, not rifle a lot of demands and commands, but slow things down, because individuals with autism may not always understand what is being said. So keep it simple, and again, approach them in a way that's more compassionate, as opposed to adversarial. I think that's very important. And so one thing that we're working on is helping to tie in the Sheriff's Department system, the radio system, so that when there is a call from a known home with someone with special needs, that it shows up on the officer's screen, so that they know they're walking into a situation that may have someone with special needs, and then that automatically then allows them to shift how they approach, how they even approach the home. We're hoping to also have perhaps some stickers and labels so that the families can have them on their homes or their cars, so that again it alerts law enforcement that
That's a great idea
here. And it just, and what that does is that it just shifts their mindset and their tactics and their so that they're able to serve and protect, as you said, but also prevent anything bad from happening.
Right. And it's so, I have a friend, Akuyo Graham, who was on my special after George Floyd was murdered. I had her on a special series called It's Not Black and White, or Is It? And you may know her because she's on task forces as well, but they were talking about even shifting who responds to those calls in the first place. So, that there's that either a social worker is on the team or a specialist like you is on the team before they even go out, which is really, brilliant. And if we could move that way, I think that the awareness and the valuing of differences, as we just said, just automatically, oh yeah, we got to adjust this, and oh yeah, we got to adjust that, which I think is such an important thing as we return from this thing called the pandemic, is that we don't jump back into the normal one size fits all, one shoe fits all, one approach fits all, even in policing. So I think that's wonderful. I think that's really great. I'm almost going to ask you to even go back further, because many people hear the term autism, but they really don't understand it. So just for anyone that listening, and I was in that boat, I heard that, all I knew was autistic kids don't talk and don't like to be touched. And it's like a mystery ailment because we don't know why it's showed up. There's some theories that it's the vaccinations that were given to kids. I heard some other theories that it's, our processed foods, or, why, is this something that has become so rampant in our, generation? So if I'm going to pick your medical expertise here while I can, and just give me like a beginner's understanding of autism.
So that's the $64 billion question in terms of why, right? We still don't understand why. As I said before, autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects how a child develops language, how a child then develops just typical behavior patterns that are expected, how they socialize with people, and how they respond to things. And we don't understand why. There's a lot of very, very bright people that are working on research to understand why a child develops autism. We think there is some underlying genetic vulnerability that might be contributing to this. People are looking at environmental factors, but there's still no single reason why. People are looking at different things, such as certain infections, certain exposures to certain things.
Right.
And so it's still not clearly understood what are the factors that play a role in derailing the development of a child to then creating the behaviors that we know of autism.
Right.
And so my hope is in the next decade that we'll have more information, that we'll be able to know more, identify it sooner, and then have more clear guidelines on how to treat. My hunch is, doing this for 25,000 years now, that it's not going to be one single thing. There are several factors that play a role, and there are different types of autisms, of different factors that play a role in certain presentations. And that's what my work is, in really identifying all the different, what we call phenotypes in my world, and different presentations of autism that may have different causes. And so that really, I see that happening in the next 10 years or so, being able to really find more the specific types. And while we're doing that, I think that we, for all individuals with autism and special needs, we have to keep in mind that whatever we do is really to help them be as functional as possible, to have the most meaningful and productive lives in our society, which is why I'm really focused on, as our children are getting older and in society, and I'm focused on really making people more aware, educating them more about autism and the unique features of autism, supporting the families and advocating for them. In, not only in the community, but for school and for insurance and for and
you're not an overachiever, are you?
I'm not. No, I'm not. And I think being a parent, of a individual with special needs, I think it
absolutely
forces you.
Yeah.
It drives you and inspires you.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be an advocate.
That's wonderful. Last question that I ask all my guests: to who or what are you most grateful for?
Oh my goodness, I have a long list of that, Dr. Marissa.
And we're at the end of the show, so one thing.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to my family, my parents, my husband, for supporting me through this. Grateful for my village, which is very wide and vast, for supporting me and helping me be an advocate and be strong enough to advocate.
Yeah.
And the community. So thank you for allowing me.
Of course.
Be here
It
to help
was
support.
delightful. I'm actually going to donate to your organizations. I have a children's book called Mommy, What Are Feelings? And every feeling has a taste, touch, sight, and sound that helps children express what they are. It's been recognized by the autism community. And I'd love to give your organizations as many free copies of that as you would like.
Thank you very much.
So thank you. I didn't even realize that was another connection. But thanks so much for tuning in for another morning of Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. Thank you, Dr. Anshu Batra, for coming and being my guest today.